So, I have recorded probably a dozen intros to explain what it is I'm doing. And I will probably keep doing it because I'm not happy with any of them. But I'm going to try again. I am on a spiritual journey, as we all are. I just realized it. And I wanted to document it. You know, Carl Jung says that we need to, instead of tell people the truth, tell them how to see. And I see the world very differently than anyone around me. And like Jung and many other philosophical and spiritual and alchemical gurus of the past, they say there's a part of your journey where you have to do it alone. And it's the hardest part, because ultimately your spiritual journey is a journey inward, and it's a conversation with your subconscious. And it's hard to do because the world is so busy and requires so much of your time and effort. So I flew to Hawaii to just be alone and just be away from everything. And people are like, oh, do you have plans to see the this or that? It's like, no. I am literally trying to avoid people and responsibilities so that I can think. And thinking, of course, is the most dangerous thing a human being can do. And I think I'm on to something, because the things that I say have helped other people. And my goal in this life is to help people, not to make money or to be rich or to be famous. And I've learned things from a lot of different teachers. And it's very hard to just get all this information out. And perhaps talking out loud will reveal things. I'm probably going to need my sunglasses because I don't like squinting in the sun, but this is an intro, so it should be quick. The type of things that I'm going to talk about are spiritual law and how I discovered them, how I discern what's right from wrong, energy vampires, and by that I don't look into it that much, but every person in your life, every human being, you're exchanging energy with. So some people have a void inside them, and you'll realize that the energy just flows one way. So we can extrapolate on how and why at another time, but that has been like a huge lesson for me. Another word for an energy vampire is a narcissist. And just like a vampire, a narcissist can't stand its reflection. I think maybe that was a metaphor. And the sun got brighter, as if to say, that's true. I've also been able to learn and discern that the universe is always talking, but you are too busy to listen. And oftentimes we keep ourselves busy. Like, I would keep thinking about church, and it's like, you have to realize that no man stands between you and God. And if you believe God has ever sent a prophet, a man to speak for him, you'll never figure out what's plaguing you. You'll never have the peace that you pretend to have. And when you go to church or synagogue or temple or the masjid, you have a brief moment of, you're just kicking the can down the road, from what I can tell. Of course, I think you can stumble on accident into being in God's good graces, so to speak. Like, I know atheists that are better people and hold spiritual law better than any religious person, actually. Outwardly religious people. I've explored religion, psychology, philosophy. and I've learned a great deal. And of course, am I qualified? Like, I don't have a degree in anything, but I am smarter than the average person, I would say. If you examine my life, I guess I have the ability to show that, the type of person that can randomly take 10 days off and go to Hawaii without their life falling apart is rare. So at least I'm coming from some place where I have a sort of peace that I know that isn't that common, and I want to share how I got there. And not necessarily that this will be shared, but I know that I have to talk to my subconscious mind in order to develop a method or some way of sharing. So the first step is talking to yourself, and I had to be very extreme and extravagant with I couldn't just do it at home. I needed to be able to walk in the water and be grounded, and even though there's noise here, the noise isn't the same at home. So that's why I'm here. That's the purpose of this and whatever videos I deem to follow, because I've spent the last 3 years going through a transformation, and it doesn't make sense to most people. But in my books, I find solace that this is a path that many people have taken throughout history. The great work, as the alchemists call it, the philosopher's stone. So in order to be authentic, I'm not even wearing a shirt, I'm not wearing my sunglasses, this is a conversation with myself, and perhaps in some way, even if this isn't shared publicly, that somehow it's added to the Akashic records. There's this 100th monkey theory where these Japanese scientists, I believe they're Japanese, they were observing monkeys, and they would drop off a bunch of potatoes to feed the monkeys, and one monkey would go to the river and wash her potato off before she enjoyed it. And then other monkeys started observing, and then they started doing it. And then researchers across the world started noticing their monkeys doing it, even though this was an isolated population. Now that means one of two things: either there's a collective consciousness between all things, or that somehow the researchers observing it then created it in reality with the monkeys that they were observing. And things like that clanking around my head are why I am not down there drinking a Mai Tai or pina colada and staring at women. I have a lot of questions that I need answers to. And it's all I think about is how the world works, why I'm here, is there a God? And I've figured out some cheat codes to life. And I think if you know something, you should share it. And if it helps someone, great. If it doesn't, I didn't do anything wrong, But at least I tried. So, as far as an intro goes, this is less than 10 minutes. This is as brief as I can be. I'm going to share how I've navigated a very difficult transition in my life, my statement phase, my midlife crisis, my spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it, whatever you're going through. Hopefully it resonates with somebody. And if it doesn't, don't tell me about it. I don't care. All right. Welcome. Let's see what happens.